Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's B Avery, and I want to welcome you back to another episode of Just My Opinion. I really do appreciate it. If you happen to like this video, please go ahead and give me the thumbs up and also consider subscribing. I do recaps, movie reviews, trailer reactions, talk about entertainment news, and just things that I think is cool. And what we are here for today is my recap for the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air reunion 30 years after it debuted back in 1990. I think pretty much like everybody else, this was actually my favorite show as a child growing up. I love this show. I mean, I watched it religiously, just like everybody else. Yeah, it was this, Martin, and Family Matters, three of my favorite shows growing up. Three happened to be all black cast, and this is just fascinating right here. I love the show. This will contain spoilers. Pretty much, if you're here, you've probably seen Fresh Prince, and you've probably seen this this recap reunion right here as well, because there is some information that came out that I just didn't know that we was going to receive. I didn't even know where we were getting exactly when all the promotional material and Will Smith is promoting this on Instagram and etc. I didn't know if we were just going to get like a reunion, like what we got here, which I love, which we're going to talk about, or if it was actually going to be an episode to where for some reason the whole cast, the whole family had to come back to the house, for whatever reason. And I was excited about that either way. I do say excited, but at the same time, I cannot say that my expectations were super high. I mean, I was interested, but I wasn't like, oh my God, I can't wait, because I forgot that it was being released until like the day of. I was like, oh yeah, it does come out tomorrow. And I was like, wait a minute, it comes out tonight. And so, here we are. And I've seen it twice at the time of this recording. And like I said, guys, I loved it. And one of the things that I loved about it so far is that everybody came back, the whole entire cast, that everybody came back that could come back. Unfortunately, James Avery wasn't able to come back, because he passed away in 2013. But, we're going to talk about that in a bit. But the whole cast came back. So that's just great right there for that nostalgia factor right there. Another great thing is, the last time we saw this was like 96, 97, right? So we get regular standard definition television. But, in 2020, everything is HD, 4K, 1080p, all this stuff right here. And so I was just like, man, that picture looks great. I love the way this recap started, showing, I think at like a 2-minute mark, showing the last episode of Fresh Prince where the house is empty. And then it shows Will go over to the light switch, he cuts it off, and then it switches over, and it's 30 years later, and he comes back in, hits the light, and the microphone is going everywhere. So yeah, he came out, he hit the button, and it was like bright colors, and the camera panned back out, and then we see the whole set of the old show of Fresh Prince. And like at that point, that's just like, I was already smiling, but my smile was just like, oh man, we're back, and it just seeing all the cast come in one by one. And I know that they're actors, but I really feel that was their first time coming back on the set, and we got to see their reaction. And that is, like, this is not just a job to them, because just like any actor or actress, some have a passion for this, some is just a job, it's just a paycheck. I mean, there's countless stories that you can look up, but this right here, it really meant something to not just me, to everybody, in the country, in the world, or however far this show reached out. So it was really nice seeing everybody come back. I mean, their reactions, I loved all that. Something else that really just stood out to me was the contrast of colors in this, and just how melanin was popping everywhere. Like early on, we had that white background, and then a black chair, so you have black on white. Then you have Will in red, and then he has his caramel or brown black skin or whatever. And so it just popped in HD. And I don't know, when I was watching it, I was just kind of saying to myself, damn, I really like how that's popping right there. And then Ashley had on some green and turquoise, with her beautiful black skin. Both Aunt Viv's had on blue, one dark skin, one light skin. I mean, it was so many, like even towards the end of the episode, there was like so many shades of blackness. It just looked beautiful. You had dark skin Aunt Viv, like then Will in the middle, then light skin Aunt Viv, and like all these shades. And then they had like Ashley and Jeffrey in the back. I'm like, look at these beautiful black people right here. I mean, it was just amazing. And I had some notes right here that I was going to try to stay in order with, like some bullet points, but I'm kind of gushing out at the seams right now because I'm just like excited. I mean, I don't think I'm going to watch it again tonight, but I'm going to watch it again this weekend. But just like, since I just mentioned Ashley, something that stood out to me was, and I have to, I like the whole thing was perfect, except for a few little moments with her. I have to be honest with you. It just seemed like, I don't know, it was a few moments to where she just wasn't, it didn't seem like she was being genuine or something. Like, I'm just like, it feels like you're kind of faking it, but I could be wrong. That's just me. That's just my opinion. However, something that did stand out to me, it was how she says, I can't remember exactly what she said. I probably should have wrote it down, but just how, what the show meant to everyone and Black people, and how when it was being promoted online, especially on Instagram through Will, people were saying Black excellence. And she was like, Black excellence is not the wealth part, even though that was the backdrop of the show. This was a wealthy Black family. She said, that is a fantasy. The Black excellence comes from the way that we love each other. And that really stood out to me. That was like a standout moment. I was like, that's what's up. She hit the nail on the head right there. So I gotta give it to her on that. Something else that I really liked about this was them showing, we've seen Will and the rest of the cast do kind of recaps and reunions before, and we've kind of heard stories, but a part of me was like, okay, what are we gonna know that we haven't known already? And we did get some tidbits of that. The pilot episodes where we saw Carlton and Hillary, Alfonso and Karen, that was hilarious. I don't think that footage has ever been released before, or at least I haven't seen it. And it is something that I really did like, just, seeing how Black don't crack and how majority of them, they look exactly the same. It doesn't look like they aged at all. And, that I really did enjoy that right there. I really did. I like that we got to see a little bit of Jeffrey. And, I'm embarrassed to say, I don't even know, what is Jeffrey's, Joseph Marcel. I should have that. I just know the guy's Jeffrey Butler. But, he was talking about his favorite episode, Raphael de la Ghetto. Cannons to the right of them, cannons to the left of them. I forgot the words, but you know what I'm talking about. I'm just seeing all this, and I'm just like really, really just smiling ear to ear. I did cry while I was watching this too, with James Avery. When they started showing more of him, I think this is like around a 30-minute mark, and little Nikki was like, "Hey, did you sit on Harry or the fish or whatever?" And he was like, "Yes, I did." And Nikki was like, "It's okay. Death is a natural part of life." And right when he said that, I was like, damn, here go the tribute right here. And they just started, this nice little cut scene with all these great moments of Uncle Phil, James Avery, and they had the music coming in the back. Dum 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 dum. And then the drums come in. I'm just like, oh man, they pulling on my heartstrings right here, man. It's really sad, man. I was really, sad when he passed away 7 years ago. He made it to 68 years old. But man, that was a tearjerker right there. I was, the tears were falling down my face. I was like, woo, and then the second time I watched it, I went back and like had that part playing on like repeat, it was very nice. It was very nice. It was a very nice touching moment. Just other moments that stood out to me kind of before that was, just Will talking about how he was able to audition for the role at Quincy Jones' house at that party early on, but we've heard that story before. But the icing on the cake for me was, Janet Hubert, the original Aunt Viv, because, we've heard, stories about this before. I remember a few years ago, she came out and it was like another type of reunion or recap or something of the show. But the gist of it that I got was that, she left the show because, she couldn't work with Will because he was arrogant and kind of, thought he was all that in a bag of chips, taking it back to the 90s with the dialogue. That's from what I remember. So I did not know that they did not talk for 27 years. Everybody knew they had a fallout, but I thought they at least communicated in some capacity in all this time. But 27 years, and it was also like a light bulb went off when the new Aunt Viv, Daphne. What the hell is going on with this mic? When Daphne was like, yeah, I've never met her before. And I was like, wow, that makes sense. Why would you meet her? Hey, I'm Daphne. I'm taking your place. That just wouldn't make any sense. And she looked great. The beautiful black skin. She had that blue on. She could dance back in the day. You can tell she's still fine today. If she was fine back then, she's still fine now. That's what's up there. But I'm really, really glad that we got to see them sit down and talk about this and kind of really air everything out. Now, the whole episode was only about, this reunion was about an hour and 15 minutes. And I can only imagine that we only saw a fraction of the conversation that they had. I doubt that they only talked for 10, 15 minutes or whatever. Maybe an hour, you know, we just kind of got the gist of it. But I don't know, maybe that can be, you know, the lost files that comes out at some other time, some later date. But, you know, he gave her the kiss of death, you know, and, you know, you saying that a black woman is angry, you know, it's not like calling a black woman the B word. It ain't that bad, but it is bad. And it's just, you know, look, you know, if you are going to call a black woman angry, you make sure you have a valid reason to do so. Okay. You can't just be throwing it out there. You know, I liked you know, at one point I was like, I don't think I've actually heard him say the word "I'm sorry" or "I apologize," but he did it in his own way. He said that I couldn't do a reunion without bringing you back. I want to thank you for the contribution that you had to the show and the contribution that you had to my life. And I thought that was beautiful right there. I'm really glad that he got those words out because it's necessary. You know, we need to be squashing all this beef and things like that. I didn't think Nikki was going to pop up, but little Nikki popped up. Like I was saying in the beginning, everybody, you know, came through and, you know, it was just an amazing little reunion here. You know, I love them, you know, going back and talking about the Carlton dance between Will and Carlton. And it was just, you know, Will was narrating it and he was just saying this like, yeah, you know, the last episode, he's like, I got to see you do it in the Carlton dance. And it was just that moment, that chemistry between them to where Will is just finally 100% accepting Carlton to who he is. And they're just being a damn fool in a good way. And I loved it. I'm up here doing a little dance on my seat or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's it was really touching. I love the part where they was recapping about Ashley's first kiss. You know, that was a cute, nice little moment. I remember it like it was yesterday. The old dude did his thing, was like, can I blow in your ear? It's like, it was funny. You know, I was smiling, I was crying, I was all over the place watching this, you know. And I also like the part where they had input on the writing because they were just saying like, wait a minute, we got to change the dialogue here because black people, I think Carlton and Daphne was like, look, black people don't act like this. Black people don't talk like this. If they were to talk like this in this tone in a certain way, they get the teeth knocked out. You know what I'm saying? I agree 100%. I agree 100%. But guys, overall, man, this was just freaking fantastic. I loved it. Like I said, I'm going to be watching it again. If I had to rate this thing out of a 1 out of 10, it don't even matter. I would give it a 10 out of a 10. It was perfect. It was perfect. I loved it. I mean, you know, after I watched it the first time, right afterwards, I caught myself rewatching the whole Fresh Prince again, starting with season 1, episode 1. I made it to the middle of episode 2, and I'm gonna find time to really go back and watch every episode because, I mean, in my opinion, this is just one of the best shows of all time. I'm not gonna say the best, but it's up there, one of the best shows of all time. But guys, that is just my opinion. What do you think? What did you think about my recap? What did you think about the reunion? Please let me know down below in the comment section. If you like this video, please go ahead and give me the thumbs up. Also, please subscribe to the channel. Help me reach 30,000 subscribers. And also click right here, and right here, I got some more videos for you. But guys, again, I just want to thank you so much for tuning in. Before you go, don't forget, my name is Avery, and that's just my opinion. Peace.